everyone, welcome back to Twitch. I'm going to be testing out the BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palette. This is the Deluxe edition. I don't have the first one just because there was like only 2 or 3 matte shades in that palette. So this palette looks like, you guys, everybody's probably seen this like a billion times by now. But it's super pretty. I'm super excited for this super white highlighting shade because it is crazy when it's swatched. So I have only done my eyebrows, haven't done anything else. This is the first time I've ever done my eyebrows before I've done the rest of my makeup, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, if you guys want to see how I do an eye look with this palette or how this palette works out for me, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start out with my NYX Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil. And I didn't realize this palette also had a mirror until right now too. And I just use this to prime my eyes. I know it looks super weird right now, but I'll blend it out. And this, I just use the white to kind of prime and to take away a lot of the darkness out of my eyelids. Now that I have that down, I'm just going to use an e.l.f. blending brush. I'm going to use the shade right here. I've never used BH shadows before too, so we'll see how it goes. They swatch really nicely. They feel really creamy. Not creamy, but they just feel super pigmented. Alright, so I have my eyes set. I'm going to go in first with just a Wet n Wild blending shade. I still want to get new brushes, but they're kind of expensive. I'm going to go in with the shade right here in the second row. Just put a little bit on my brush. And I'm just going to use that shade for my transition shade. Probably zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm also not the best at putting on eyeshadow or eye makeup for the most part. Like, I think I'm decent, but I know I'm not the best. I'm not a makeup artist. I would like to be, but I'm not. This palette kind of reminds me, in a way, of the Lorac Pro palette. I don't know why, but it does, and that's one of my favorite palettes. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with this pink shade right next to it. Next to the brown that I just used. And I'm just going to take a Royal & Leg Nickel Precise Angled brush. And then I'm just going to kind of almost use that as an all over lid shade. Except I don't want it in my inner corner. I'm just gonna go back in with that brush I used before, kind of blend it out a little bit more. Then I want to go in with this darkest color in the palette, well, almost darkest color, the darkest brown in the palette. It's all the way down to the bottom. And I'm just gonna take my Bazanti contour eyeshadow brush. It's one of them that I got in the Ipsy bag, which I have always loved all my brushes I've gotten in any Ipsy bag. And I'm kind of just putting this more like in my crease to define it just a little bit more. Alright, now that I have that somewhat blended out, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. That like purpley sparkly one all over the lid. I'm just going to take my finger. I'm going to do a winged eyeliner real quick. Do that off camera just because I know I'm not going to be able to get in the frame for that. So I will be right back. Alright, I finished my eyeliner and then I'm going to I'll finish the rest of my eyes after I do my base. And then on spots I get a little bit oily, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer. And this is the mattifying one. Primer, you have to be a little bit careful. Right with the sponge today. I put it on with my fingers yesterday, and if like you don't put it on evenly, it leaves marks like on your foundation. And while that's all settling into my face, I'm going to go with my Erase Paste from Benefit. And and go ahead and try to cancel out some of those tones in my eyes. Sorry if you can hear my dogs playing in the background. I don't know why they're deciding now that they want to play. And my cat's walking all over my desk, messing with crap. Alright, I think I should be good to go ahead and go with my foundation. I'm using my Tarte Reinforce of the Sea. Instead of using both of the foundations in 2 different shades, I'm gonna do a normal one with porcelain. And then I'm gonna try it with the CoverGirl Clean Matte. This is a little too dark for me, but it mattifies really, really well. I wore my normal combination yesterday with this foundation, which I didn't film a video or anything, but my skin, for one, was super, super flaky. I don't know why. And for 2, super, super white. For some reason, when my oil started to build up, it really got really, really white. Alright, my foundation is on. I actually really like that combination. I haven't used this combination. I forgot I even had that CoverGirl foundation until like last night. So I'm gonna go in with my Fit Me concealer. This is a little, like, this matches my skin tone perfectly, so it's not really good for highlighting. So I'm gonna mix it with my Kat Von D white concealer to make that a little bit lighter. And then obviously for places I spot conceal, I'm not gonna have to use this. I'm not gonna have to mix it because it matches anyways. This foundation already feels a lot more mattifying than what it usually is too. So I'm trying to stop my mumbling when I'm talking in real life, and then, well, not real life, but just in general, and then when I'm filming, because looking back on footage, I realize I mumble a lot. I have never noticed how bad I mumbled until I started filming YouTube videos, and I guess I've just always done it. I don't know why. I try not to. My mom mumbles really bad too, so I have a feeling I get it from her. It's gonna be very hard because I feel like I'm not mumbling, which I probably just mumbled right there. I feel like I'm not mumbling, and then I go back on footage and it's super, super, super bad. I realize I'm very monotone too. I did not think I was very monotone until you listen to yourself. And then I'm gonna bake with my number 7. Don't know what this powder's called. Perfect Light Loose Powder, translucent. And I use my other side of my sponge, like I said in my, I think my last video, but my full coverage foundation routine video. I bake all the places that either get creasy or it gets oily. Then I'm gonna wipe off my bake with that shade in my contour kit. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I like to use this powder for this foundation just because this foundation tends to break down a little more than like my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation or some of my mattifying foundations. I don't know if it'll be better since I'm using. And then I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and finish up the rest of my eye makeup. I'm going to go back in with this one shade, that brown shade that I used. I'll zoom it back in too. Oh, other way. And then I'll go back in with that pink shade that I used from before. And put that underneath too. And then I'll go in with a small, tiny brush with that dark brown shade. Ignore my nails. I still have to either do them or get them done. I think I might just get them done because I think I'm going to be lazy and I don't feel like doing it myself. I'm going to take that shade closer to my lash line. And then for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to go in with the shade I used to set everything else with, just to kind of open up the eye. I don't really want it too shimmery just because of that shade I have on eyelids. And then with my inner crease highlight, I'm going to go in with that shade that I'm going to use to highlight my face with too. That's super pigmented. And I'm going to curl my eyelashes with my Tarte Lash Curler and use my Essence Lash Princess Mascara. It's love this mascara. It makes my eyelashes look super, super, super long. I'll finish up the eyes with my CoverGirl Fibers mascara on my bottom lashes. I can't use the Lash Princess on my top and bottom because it transfers for some reason. And I'm going to contour with my regular fawn shade, just like always. And I've never used this palette before. This is the e.l.f. bronzer palette. I'm going to go in with the shade right here because it looks like it'll be the lightest. I'm going to go in just a little bit because I don't know how pigmented this is. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice bronzer. So I've been looking for more of like a cool tone bronzer, not like as cool as my fawn shade because then I'm actually just using a contour as bronzer, but since I'm so fair skin tone, everything looks super orange on me, and I have such a pink undertone too. This bronzer is nice. And this is only like a $6 palette, so even if I end up using that one shade, $6 for one bronzer, I think it's an awesome deal. Dude, that inner corner highlight's freaking popping today. And then blush, I'm going to use my Kat Von D, what's this called? Shade and Light brush in Mickey and Mallory. I know this isn't available anymore, at least I don't think so. But I love this blush. It's so like natural looking. It gives something to my cheeks so I don't look so dead. And I usually don't use this brush for highlighting because it doesn't put on too much highlight, but that's a crazy intense highlight, so I want to not use something that's going to make it even more intense. So I'm going to take a little bit on this brush and then actually, I'm not going to use that today just because that's just super, super intense and I don't want to blind everyone today. I'll just use my Daylight highlighting shade of my Tarte palette. It's kind of intense, but it's not like as intense as that other one. Maybe if I wasn't going to work, I would, but stop! My cat's getting in a bag. I'm sorry, guys. About my cat. And lastly, I'm just going to go in with my Lovecraft lipstick from my Kat Von, well, it's by Kat Von D. And I'll finish this look up with my Ready Set Radiant Skin Mist from Tarte. Alright everyone, that is the completed look. I love this palette. I think it blended out nicely. It would be blended out better if I had better brushes. I'm looking into getting some new brushes, but this palette is awesome. I suggest it if you've been wanting this. This is only like 22 bucks. For all of these, you have, these probably wouldn't be highlights for me. Maybe like blush toppers or something, but at least 3 of the highlights I could probably use. This, maybe, I don't know. But all of these eyeshadows, they're all gorgeous. I suggest this palette. It's awesome. This shade is intense. You can see it all the way from here. So yeah, if you guys like this makeup look, liked my review on this palette, then please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what you guys want to see next. I'm open to any suggestions. I would do almost anything at this point. I just want to make everyone who's watching my videos happy since I only have like 30, maybe 28 of you watching. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.